All right, welcome back to the Daily Mastermind. George Wright III here with your daily dose of inspiration, motivation, and education. We got the middle of the week, so I hope you're having a good week and things are off to a good start. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about this concept of focus. And as entrepreneurs, I know a lot of us struggle between finding new opportunities and pursuing new business and ideas, sort of that shiny object syndrome, and finding focus to drive success and results in your life. So before I get started with that, I want to go through the quote of the day. The quote of the day in the Daily Mastermind mobile app is by Napoleon, and it says, "A leader is a dealer in hope." A leader is a dealer in hope. I love that idea because I think there's a key differentiation between leadership and management. Management, you're driving priorities and managing tasks and people, but leadership really is about hope. It's about driving a vision for people. And so that's a great quote. Now, let's get to this concept of focus or diversification. This is something my whole life I've kind of both struggled with and found solutions to, because if you think about it, you really get the greatest success when you focus, but at the same token, you want to be able to drive new business and new ideas. I mean, most projects and companies that people have started, they didn't know what it was going to be, and if they were closed-minded to opportunities that were coming along the way, they wouldn't be open to the true potential that they could have. So my answer to whether you should diversify or create focus is both. It's one of our prosperity pillars, I think win-win. And that's why you need to think about it from sort of a different paradigm. See, focus means follow one course until successful. That's an acronym, FOCUS, follow one course until successful. And so I guess the question boils down to, what course are you following? The key, in my opinion, is to have a real clear vision and have real clarity on that vision at a high level. In other words, not specifically to the task or the business, but what are you trying to create in your life? What do you want your life to be like? Because if you have a clear vision of what you want your life to be like, you don't need to be wrapped up in the details that get you there to a certain degree when you're looking at your vision. See, when you have a great vision of what you want your life to be like, then you can create some diversification and yet still focus. So how do you do that? Well, one of the tricks that's really helped me a lot, because I've had multiple companies for coaching and mentoring and marketing and financial education, everything from apparel to mobile app. I'm a mobile app developer for Android and for iTunes, Apple. When you diversify, the key is this, and listen to me carefully. The key to diversification in the things you're doing is to make sure that they have synergy, that they align together. In other words, if your goal is to create a certain life and have a certain income, and for example, my focus has always been personal development and financial education, well then when I do financial education events, I can still work with personal development ideas. We still have lead generation. We still work with partners that go in all these different areas. When I created an apparel company, we created motivational messages and things that help to synergize and build a community for various direct selling companies. So you can create diversification and yet still be focused on your ultimate goal. So diversification with synergy, with synergistic things. In other words, you can't be out doing door-to-door sales for some product and then over here trying to do online marketing for something completely different. You've got to find synergy in the things that you're working on so that they feed together to get you to your goal. And then what you can do is you can drive depth in the areas that you focus on. It's always okay to be looking for opportunities and to in certain periods of time, I'll talk about that in a second, look and explore new opportunities that might take you to your ultimate goal, your ultimate vision. But don't drive depth and put a lot of time and effort into those until you know that they will contribute to your total vision, until they contribute to what you want. Once you have that idea or that area, or you see a little bit of success in a certain area that might be diversified, then you can drive depth into it. Then you can go really deep into that area because it aligns with what you're looking for and it's a good use of your time. So what I want to do is I'm going to give you just a handful of keys that I feel are going to help you create success in diversifying but staying focused. The key is focus. These are keys to success that I've used. There's probably a lot of other ones. These are just ones that have worked for me. The first is to make sure that you drive clarity in your vision. And I know we talk about this, what do you want your life to be like and what's your vision a lot, but that's because so many of you haven't done anything about clarifying it. You've got to sit down and you have to be super clear. If someone asks you what you want your life to be like and you can't answer that immediately, Number one, you don't know what it is. Number two, you don't obsess and focus on it all the time, and you just don't have clarity. So you've got to get clear on your vision, because once you do, the vision is your litmus test. It's your filter for all the opportunities and things that come your way. You can say, if someone says, hey man, I got this amazing opportunity, you could say, does that align with where I'm going? Could it in any way, even diversified, help me get there? If not, it's a no. You're not going to spend time on it. But you're constantly looking at new ideas and you don't know where you're going. You're not going to know whether or not to say yes or no. You're just constantly chasing shiny objects. The second thing is, once you clarify what your vision is, you've got to have some really, really specific and just a couple of key performance indicators, KPIs. Most successful businesses have KPIs. As a CEO of multiple companies, I always have KPIs. This might be your lead acquisition cost, your revenue, your numbers of new customers or enrollment. It might be your metrics of whatever it is, whether it's sales, marketing, operations, your turn time, your customer wait time. Your KPIs are critical to knowing whether or not you're on track with your vision. It's sort of your compass to get you where you're going. And a true successful leader and CEO, if they have a couple of really, really strong KPIs, they know whether they're going, and they don't have to be in the weeds to figure it out. They don't have to be down in the detail. So know what your KPIs are. And that might be, even just in a general sense for your life, your overall income, your overall net worth, your overall debt, your amount of time, and your dollars per hour you're getting for your time. Because we can talk about that a whole nother time, but what you're going to find is if you track your income per hour, you're going to find what you focus on grows. What you focus on grows. So clarity of vision, KPIs. The next thing is you've got to have priorities. Once you've set priorities, things won't get you away from your focus. And I always recommend setting your priorities on a weekly basis so that you're not thinking about what your priorities are during the week. Set those priorities. Another suggestion would be time blocking. Tony Robbins and Robert Stuberg and a lot of my good mentors have always talked about time blocking. You've got to have time, like my partner Robert Stuberg talks about, a CPR process: concentration time, preparation time, and recovery time. You've got to have time that you have for each of these areas, but also more importantly, if you're going to do a task, block time out for it. Multitasking is not a good, efficient use of your time. It's a terrible way to stay focused. Have time blocking. If you have 4 things you got to do today, block out, I recommend, between 60 to 90 minutes for each of those tasks. Limit the number of priorities you have, but block out time for those priorities and make sure that you have those on a weekly basis already set. Don't wake up in the morning and wonder what you're going to work on today. Don't wake up in the morning and have a whole list of things without having your schedule already set, or you are set up to fail from the beginning. Because if your schedule's not set, people will set it for you. So that's a key, time blocking. So we got clarity of vision, KPIs, priorities, time blocking, which will really help you create focus. Then you've got to have accountability. You've got to have accountability. Now, this might be in the terms of making a commitment to someone that you're going to get them something. It might be a deadline. A lot of times we work on projects, but we're afraid to set a deadline. Set a deadline. It's better to work towards a deadline. It's like training for a marathon or a competition or whatever it is. You got to have a deadline because it'll push you, rather than most of us that procrastinate to the very last minute without a deadline, things don't get done. So accountability is key. And then you've got to track your progress. You've got to keep a scorecard. And I recommend doing a real evaluation once a week to find out, have you made any progress? How much progress? The whole goal in your life should be to make progress, not to get to a destination, but to make progress. As long as you're making progress, which accountability helps you to do, then that'll really, really make a difference in your life. And you'll feel more accomplished. You'll feel fulfilled. You'll feel productive, because progress is the key, no matter how little or small. Like Steve Jobs says, a lot of us underestimate the power of what can happen over 5 years, but we overestimate what we can do in a short period of time. So that's what I would recommend on progress. And then the last one is really work to create some simplicity in your life. If you're going into your day with a list of 30 things, number one, you're not going to be focused. Number two, you're probably not going to accomplish as much as you want. Or you've got a list of things that are super easy to do and you're just driven by being able to check the boxes, and that's not productive either. So these are all keys to success on being focused and creating results. I really, really, really believe that you can create focus and still diversify, as long as that diversification of areas and opportunities are synergistic to help you focus on getting the life that you want to live. So create some clarity, use key performance indicators, KPIs, set your priorities, time block to create real focus, create accountability, check your progress weekly, and then really simplify the thing you want to do each and every day. If you'll do that, I think you're going to create focus, you're going to create more opportunity, and you're going to create more progress in your life. So that's my message for today. I want you to do me a favor, and if you got some value out of this, share it with a friend, share it with someone that you know. We don't have sponsors. We don't take money on this show. I just do it to create value, and if you'll help us to share that message, that would be great. And I look forward to talking with you a little bit more. For those of you first time joining, go ahead and go to the Google Play or the Apple Store and download the Daily Mastermind mobile app. The mobile app's got a ton of free stuff: ebooks, audiobooks, meditation, the quote of the day, 4K pics, galleries of motivation and inspirational photos. I think you'll get a lot of it. It's a great on-the-go to keep you focused when you're an entrepreneur, business owner, or even just trying to create your life in a better way. A lot of personal development and financial education there. So that's my message for today. I hope you have a great day. Once again, this has been the Daily Mastermind, and my name is George Wright III. We'll talk with you soon.